afternoon, gents. Welcome to the press conference. Vodacom Bulls versus Chiefs, captain and coach.
Pote, I see no Warwick Khalat. Is that a rotation or does he have some sort of niggle?
No, Warwick got up yesterday, had a shoulder injury. He will be available next week again. We just took him out this week. He's not 100%.
What are just some of the other changes? Burger's obviously back, and then in the loose trio, and Handré staying there with Eli's name on the bench.
I think Tamagawa is on the bench with Eli's name on. I kept the same locks. I think they did very well last week, 2 weeks ago against the Sharks, and we all know it's going to be very physical, and they were very physical against the Sharks. We bring Ruan Steenkamp back. He had an awesome season up till his concussion. That's why he's back in the mix. Burger, he's one of the leaders, and he's an awesome player. So he also deserves his place back because he was also awesome before his injury.
You got some of the guys, quite a few guys back from injury that joined you in training again. Are they just a week or so away, or is it?
No, they actually are. They're very keen to play. They did very well today in training, or this week in training. So it's getting more difficult to select the side. But it's a good place to be in to have all these guys back.
Just your thoughts on the Chiefs. They've had a strange season. Took 50 in Canberra, lost to the Sunwolves, and then last week bounced back and drew against Hurricanes. So.
They've got an awesome side. I think if they click, it's going to be difficult. And I'm worried that they will click on Saturday. Somewhere they must find their rhythm, and I just hope it's not on Saturday. But we're ready for them. We know what's coming, and as I said, they're a very good side.
How different is the challenge compared to obviously the first phase of this season against the South African sides and the Hawaiians?
I just think the intensity is much higher than the South African teams. I think we'll realise that on Saturday. Luckily for us, it's 3 o'clock at Loftus.
Wat dink jy is 'n voordeel om 3 uur te speel Saterdag?
Verseker, ek dink op die Hoofveld is dit 3 uur in die middag, is dit baie moeilik op Loftus. Jy weet, en as ons weer dieselfde atmosfeer kan kry van ons ondersteuners, gaan dit regtig goeie wedstryd wees. Ek dink albei spanne sal graag hulle gameplan wil afdwing, en ek dink dit gaan 'n aanskoulike wedstryd wees.
Given that the Chiefs want to play at a high intensity and obviously a high tempo, and that does it give you guys the opportunity to maybe sort of pressurize them at source a bit, that if you can dominate them up front, and then they're trying to do too many things with bad ball?
No, definitely. If we can win the battle up front, we will be there, halfway there. We got the pack to do it, I believe. Some of the guys still have to make a step up, and it's going to be interesting. I think with Polly's what do you call it, his form at this stage. If we can give him the same ball as in the last 4 weeks, it will be great for us.
Handré, another 30 points coming up. Is that in your mind, a 30-point win at least? You guys are looking good, and they're not looking so good.
No. There's, I think their season have already changed. It's already switched to the old Chiefs side. I mean, it wasn't that the Hurricanes weren't good. I mean, the Chiefs were actually just very good, and they were unlucky to not get the win at the end. I think the intensity they play at is going to be a challenge for us, because the South African sides play a much slower tempo, with reason, but that's just the way we play. So it's a new chapter for us. We're not looking at a 30-point win, not at all, nothing of that. We just want to get the victory, and whatever it takes, we'll take it by half a point if it is. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
But the draw obviously makes it easier for you to kind of break up your season in these little portions. Obviously, you want to kind of finish this stage 4 out of 4, kind of going to the next half of the campaign.
It will be great. I mean, that is so. It's 4 weeks again, then we got a break, and then we got 8 games in a row with 4 weeks overseas. But we're only looking at the Chiefs at this stage. We know what's coming. It's going to be very difficult. As Polly said, they're a good side, guys. They played very well against the Canes last week, and we expect the same this week.
Handré, I mean, the New Zealand sides like to put themselves into positions to try and beat you one-on-one, try and put their key players in that. Obviously, defence just as important this week. Always.
Oh, it's probably the most important, I would say. they've got unbelievable athletes, and especially in the backs. They've got mobile forwards, of course. We all know that, but I think the Chiefs really got some X factor at the back, and it's going to be up to us to really stop that. And it just comes down to a one-on-one. You know, you got to sort your opponent out, which is across you, and defense is probably going to win you the game, or it's going to lose you the game.
Loads of threats, but I mean, a guy like Damien McKenzie is always a threat.
Yeah, he's a world-class player. I mean, I'm glad to see him back at 15, because I believe that's where he's at his best. He's brilliant with space and time on the ball. So good to see him playing well again, unfortunately. But it's lovely to play against a guy like that, because it's one of the best in the world, and you want to measure yourself against those guys.
Handré, the Chiefs are obviously extremely dangerous when you give them the ball, turn over the ball, that sort of things. But a lot of your guys' success in the last 4 weeks has come from actually kicking really well, kicking for territory, that sort of thing. How do you balance those two things against a side like the Chiefs? You obviously don't want to give them too much ball, but territory is working for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's inevitable. They're going to get the ball at some point. You just got to make sure it's in the right area of the field. I mean, if you give them a ball, make sure it's close to their 22 and not on your 22. I mean, there's going to be mistakes, and it's going to be time you're going to be under pressure. But if you can control for the majority of the game where you give them the ball and where you decide to tackle them, I think that'll count in your favour. But like I said, it's a side with a lot of X factor, and there's bound to be a couple of line breaks.
Coach, do you make any changes to the way you guys train, considering that it's now a New Zealand team?
No, we know it's coming, as I said, but we focus on ourselves. We want to try and win the games and go through our structures and stuff, and see that that's in place. And I think if we can do what we can do it well, we can pull this one through.
Handré, net in Afrikaans, asseblief, Nieu-Seelandse spanne raak berig daarvoor dat hulle Suid-Afrikaanse spanne in die laaste 20 minute miskien 'n bietjie hore kan aansit. Is daar 'n manier om dit teen te werk, of is dit so dat Nieu-Seelandse spanne ons voorhand kry in die laaste 20 minute van die wedstryd?
Ek sou nie sê dis 'n groot ding nie. Ek dink is maar net dit gebeur baie keer, en is moeilik hierbo. Dis moeilik hierbo. Ja, ons die spanne wat van die see af kom, hulle sukkel met daai laaste 20 hierso, maar ek het ook al 'n game hier gespeel wat hulle vir ons die laaste 20 ore aangesit het. So jy moet hulle bene probeer vat, maar ook nie simpel wees nie, want dan gaan jy jou eie bene vat. So dis baie moeilik om dit te doen. Daar's verskillende maniere. Ons gaan nou nie te veel in diepte in gaan nie, maar ons het 'n plan daarvoor, en ons gaan probeer om daai laaste 20 minute van hulle uit te haal. En ja, so maar kyk Saterdag.
You mentioned selection getting more and more difficult, but it must be quite nice at this stage of the season that you've got the players on the depth to be able to freshen up the squad in certain areas.
No, definitely, and as you all know, some of the box will have to get some game time off because they have to rest for the World Cup, and it's really great to have guys like Marco van Staren, Mani Lebokki's in there, Johnny Kotze is back, Travis Ismail is back, so it's a nice position to be in. Jaco Versage is back. It's also it was a close thing between him and Cornel Els this week.
Ek hoop dat daar's baie gepraat in die voorseisoen oor julle voorry, en daar's sekere kritici wat gemeen het hulle is dalk 'n bietjie underpowered en nie altyd gevoel nie, maar nou al teen die Stormers en selfs teen die Haie het hulle teen Springbok voorreg gefront op. Net hoe voel jy oor hulle vordering, en hoe bly is jy dat hulle net regtig so al man staan in daai fasette?
Dis 'n groot pluspunt veral vir daai man wat aangekom het. Jy weet, hy's 2 keer die week by ons op hierdie stadium, en hy doen 'n ongelooflike werk. En dit is so, jy weet, ek is maar ou skool, as jy die skrams goed doen, dan speel jy vorentoe, en dis wat op die oomblik gebeur. Oukie soos die jong Matanzima, ongelooflik hoe hy leer en hoe hy verbeter.